I got a 50-minute drive. I say, you know what? Let me take the time out and talk to the people. I know, I know I've been missing in action for a long period of time, but my mission in action is due for me, working, grinding, coming home, you know, doing lives and content and commenting on Instagram and growing on there. And I, you know, usually get tired and I know I gotta come on. But lately my sister came on and we had a conversation and I feel like it's important for me to come on as much as I can because a lot of us is just going through it and we wilding out and a lot of people don't get the guidance and the proper support that's needed in going through these rough times. And I want y'all to understand when you deconstruct, right? When you deconstruct from the ideology and you deconstruct from the religion, you're basically deconstructing from the program. And the program, it starts off as a spiritual thing, you know what I'm saying? And then it manifests into physical attributes. And for us being deconstructed, it's important for us to try to You said the sound's up. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me now, say yeah. I gotta put my other mic set. This roadcaster stuff, over for that, bro. Over it. Right? You gotta you gotta understand that when you deconstruct from the ideologies and the philosophies and the religion, when you deconstruct, it's very important that you continue to seek wisdom. And when I mean wisdom is knowledge of self, bigging up yourself, bettering yourself, trying to put yourself in position to win and not be in a space to lose spiritually. You gotta continue that. and it's going to get hard. I'm telling you that right now, because when you deconstruct from the ideology, you're deconstructing from the spiritual prison. Okay, this is spiritual prison that we are all in. That's why a lot of us invest into, that's why a lot of us invest into into religion, because we know that it's some level of a spiritual attachment. And yes, there is high powers. I would never tell you that it's not. But when you deconstruct, you gotta find your true high power. You gotta find your ancestors. You gotta go down that rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way you're gonna gain some level of peace, and then allow the ancestors to navigate. And sometimes people don't understand that sometimes things get rough for relocation. Your purpose is not there. You're not supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta always put those things into its proper perspective. What are the ancestors telling me? What do they want me to do? Am I supposed to be in these circumstances? Am I supposed to be in this place? Am I supposed to be at this job? Am I supposed to continue being in these situations that I know I'm supposed to get myself out of? You know what I'm saying? And we're not putting ourselves in those spaces of trying to figure out what is the universe telling us. You know what I'm saying? We all got a purpose, people, but you gotta know your reason. You gotta know your reason. And sometimes when you deconstruct, it's like, okay, now that you deconstruct and you remove yourself, now I need you to do this. Now I need you to do that. Now I need you to operate on this side of the field. I need you to talk to these people. I need you, you know what I'm saying? It's so much for us to gather. But we're so caught up into the ideology, man. I'm telling you guys, this ideology is so severe, it's so serious that we lose sight of who we are. We feel like if we don't have some spiritual connection to Jesus, Allah, whatever, these written scriptures, tablets, we're out of wax, and we don't even realize that these are the things that put us in these circumstances. We talk about it and we ready to fight. We ready to get out of it. We say, yeah, man, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. We scream all of that. But then when we get put to the test, it's like, yo, how do we handle it? I feel like giving up. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we can't. We can't. You know what I'm saying? Go down the rabbit hole. We've been doing stuff like this since what you call that? Since Malcolm X and before that. See, when a nigga got a voice, he got to get silenced. You're not gonna get that support. Like I said, the machine is not gonna support. We're living in a different day and age now, guys. The age that we're living in now is they hear, see, feel, and know everything that we're doing. Nothing is done in secrecy no more. So when they see that you're deconstructing from their control, they're gonna make life hard for you. Because life is supposed to, that's how they want the life to be. They want life to be difficult under their circumstances, under their care, under their trust, under their honor, under their religion, under their philosophy, under them. It has to be under them. And if you say, nah, I don't want to be under you, they'll be like, all right, so then we're gonna make it, we're gonna force you into some level of submission. But you gotta understand that we came here under submission. And the goal is to get out of that. And it's because they put us in a state. It's because they put us in a state of comfortability, and we love the comfort so much, feels so good. It's like, nah, this ain't right. Something ain't normal. Why is this taking place? That's not why. This is not what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You got your friends and your family. Listen, I come from a $1 million family. You know what I'm saying? Like, But I know that my purpose and my calling is bigger than me. You understand what I'm saying? I know my calling is bigger than me. Because because I've been knowing this since I was young. I've been seeing the pain of my people. I've been seeing the cries of my people. I've been felt that. I felt that myself. So I understand what's going on. You feel me? I understand what's going on. But for us, guys, you gotta know that when you learn this from young, so when you've been seeing this, hey man, I've been knowing what's going on. It's because you have been the selection of the protection. You have been the selection to fight the rejection. You have been chosen by the ancestors to stand 10 toes down and ride and ride for the cause. You feel me? 10 toes down. His joint say no churning, bro. Yo, bro, these people, man. This man was on the other side, cut over. Oh man, listen, New York City. But back to what I was saying, you gotta know your purpose and your calling, and know that we were set to do great things, and always know that a setback is always gonna be a greater triumph. You gotta just know what it is. You gotta know what door that you gotta walk into. We gotta break out of this, and that's all of us. Me, you know what I'm saying? I had to sit down with the Wiz, and I told her that I'm gonna talk about it, maybe Saturday night when I'm free. But we gotta speak about the fact that we're not embracing the hardship that comes with knowing that you were El Kebula and kidnapped, knowing that you're that, knowing what you went through, witness. We're not taking that hardship, and we gotta take that. We gotta take it. I gotta take it. Take it with a joy, take it with a smile. Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep it moving. That's the mentality. Don't let nobody hold you down. Don't let nobody take your pride. Don't let nobody take you from you. Don't let nobody take you from who you are. Don't let nobody take you from your purpose. Don't let nobody take you from your loved ones. Don't let nobody take you from that. And if you think that this system is what's needed to bring you joy, then you forgot the mission. You forgot the purpose. You forgot why we doing this. You forgot why I come on every day. And like I said, I feel like I gotta come on every day. I feel like a lot of you guys need wisdom. I feel like, a lot of you guys need that extra motivation and that extra direction and the remembrance that, oh yeah, this is why I gotta stay right here, and this is why I gotta stay away from over there. This is why I gotta do this, and this is why I gotta do that. It's a lot of things that I'm working on as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Self perseverance. You know what I'm saying? Correction. I was speaking to a financial advisor, and I got to call him later on today. We got to have a Zoom meeting. But he said, in order for me to elevate you guys, I got to elevate myself. I can't, in order for me to tell you how to overcome these experiences, I got to experience it myself. We're not doing what the church said. Remember, guys, we're not doing what religion said anymore, guys. Remember that, guys. We're not doing that anymore. Remember, we're standing on facts. Remember, we're standing on facts. Remember, we're standing on facts. We're not standing on belief. So you got to understand the facts that come along with standing on what you standing on. But for me, I got to elevate myself so I can elevate you guys. I got to elevate myself so I can elevate you guys. And and it comes with a lot of reading, comes with a lot of meditation, comes with changing my diet. I've been eating bad, like I said, ever since my wife had my son, when she was dealing with my son, things that I haven't eaten in years, I found myself eating, like no McDonald's and all. I'm just talking about like in general, like having a burger, Burger was a spare the moment thing, like here and there, but that's not something that I'm accustomed to. But being with the Wiz, it became a Friday thing. So now Friday nights is like junk night. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody just, hey, we're gonna have some fries. And I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't like that. And even that, gotta correct. You gotta correct. Because what happens when there's a sister or a brother that's dealing with some level of that's dealing with some level of diabetes and wants some health tips. I'm gonna provide this health tip if I don't even know, if I don't even got the proper techniques to provide, and I'm doing the bad thing. You see what I'm saying? And we don't want to be that contradiction. We don't want to be those churches. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be, put in this position to talk to you guys and misguide you and misinformation that's gonna not. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. This is what religion do. You know what I'm saying? That's what the churches do. And I come to the understanding that the ancestors really got me like, yo, you got people's lives in your hands. You know what I'm saying? And just speaking for my sis. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta be more hands-on. I see that. I gotta be more hands-on. I gotta be more hands-on for my man Calvin. You know what I'm saying? For those that's been like, yo, what's up? Where you been at? I gotta be more hands-on. Because obviously the ancestors and the creators brought you to me for a reason. They didn't bring you my way just to, hey, look, just a no. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do this for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't sign up for that. You know? I signed up to open the eyes of real people and bring back realness, because it's just too much weirdo activities going on. Just look outside, man. This is not humanity. What is this? What is this? What is this that we're witnessing today? You know what I'm saying? And the only way you're going to see this is when you start to deconstruct, because you're going to understand that all of this, it ties back to some level of control. And where does the number one control come from? Where does it stem from? You know what I'm saying? You got to make those things make sense. You feel me? You know, I'm not even gonna make it a topic of destruction, a topic of conversation, but you guys know. So when you start to deconstruct, things start making sense. And a lot of you guys are seeing the things that's like, wait, hold on, this ain't adding up. Like, yo, what's up with this? Why are we acting like that? How did this get here? You know what I'm saying? Like my Wiz right now, she's at the point where she's mad at the creator. You know what I'm saying? She's mad at the creator because she's trying to figure out, how would you allow us to go through this into this magnitude? And she don't understand how we got here. You know? And she's, that's her way of deconstructing. You know what I'm saying? She's deconstructing in that sense. And I can't intervene that at the moment, because that was the same mentality that I had when I first, you know what I'm saying, when I first thought I was, a Hebrew or whatever these religion things called. I thought that's what I was. You understand? And I was on that type of time, angry, mad, boom, boom, boom. But she's on some, nah. She was like, nah, this ain't fair, this ain't right. And you know what I'm saying? And these individuals is not this and they're not that, how? And it's like, go ahead, baby girl, be upset. Let it out. You know what I'm saying? Vent. And she called me, she said, yo, I had to call you and vent. You know what I'm saying? And I said, yo, vent. You gotta let that out, mama. You gotta let it out. And that's what we all need to do. We need to let it out. We need to let it out. We need to get upset. We need to be angry. We need to demand answers. And then we start putting things in its proper perspective. But we have to get to that space. And a lot of us are afraid to get to that space. We don't want to challenge that. You understand? We don't want to challenge that, because challenging that makes you gotta question everything. You're gonna have to question your friendships. You're gonna have to question your relationships. You're gonna have to question your partnerships. You're gonna have to question every shit that came your way. You're gonna have to question that. But it's needed though. It's needed though. It's necessary for us. It's needed. Believe me, it's needed. We all needed it. I needed it. I needed it. Listen, I need it even more now because for me, being over a decade in religious texts and doctrines and trying to uncover and coming to the realization that all of this was literally orchestrated by the Romans after infiltrating the Egyptians and taking down their knowledge and ideology. That's why you see the Christianity mythology is never known in the Western world. Okay, these mythologies and philosophies came with missionaries and mercenaries. These things did not make its way organically like these people are telling you. All of these things are lies. It's lies. In fact, not only is it lies, but when you believe it, it's like literally disrespecting your ancestors. It's like basically saying, yo, my ancestors, they know no better. They was foolish, they was dumb. No, that's a disrespect because your ancestors would have pinpoint, if these stories was real, your ancestors would have been able to pinpoint the burial. People would have honored it. They would have respected it. They would never allow these Europeans to stop them. Niggas would have definitely died, bro. You get what I'm saying? They would have definitely died. They would have named the street after that man. But it's because the story never existed. So when the story doesn't exist, you know, the deconstruction is for real. When you start paying attention, and these are the things that I want you guys to know, that when you start breaking down the Da Vinci Code, man, the Da Vinci Code starts with religion, people. I don't care what they tell you. Every law and foundation is under the canon law. Every rule and regulation is under the canon law. Every rule and regulation is under the canon law. So whatever they telling you, no, it's under the canon law. So that's the beginning of breaking from the matrix, is that. And a lot of us is just not, like I said, we're not physically ready. We're not. We're not physically ready. Because it's gonna make you question everything and everyone. Everything that you have been told, you're gonna come to the understanding that it wasn't true. It was lies. Everything that you've been told, you're going to come to the realization that it was lies, that it wasn't true. And for me, finding these things out, and like I said, I spent 10 plus years uncovering, reading, you know what I'm saying? Believing. I spent 10 plus years doing this, guys. You understand? 10 plus years of this ideology. 10 plus years. And it ain't get me anywhere but, you know, down another rabbit hole of deception and lies. And when you start breaking and you start seeing these lies and you start holding these people accountable, you know, then that's when the attack's gonna occur. And it's gonna occur in every way. It's gonna occur physically, spiritually, friendship. A lot of things, a lot of people is not gonna be in agreement with what you saying, what you doing. People is gonna think that you're nuts. You know, people is gonna talk about you. People is gonna mock you. You're gonna have you're gonna have thoughts of, you know, letting go. That I can't deal with this no more. Going back into the world, and you're gonna always be in the world. Don't let people tell you that. I'm always gonna be in the world, because the world is what made me. The world is what I had to learn to survive. This is before religion, and this is gonna be after religion. You feel me? So don't let people tell you that. But it's gonna come with the territory. I want you to know that it's going to come with the territory. It has to happen. That's the only way for you to grow and be the most powerfulest El Kebulan kidnap AC representative, no matter where you at. Don't minimize yourself because of your stress. Take that as motivation for you to be at your best. Take it as motivation for you to be at your best. For my sis, tired of the plantation and it's pissing you off, take a paycheck, get yourself an LLC, start your own business, start it. If we're gonna go through hard times and hardships, I tell everybody, if you're gonna go through hard times and hardships, go through hard times and hardships chasing your dream, because it's gonna be worth it at the end. Whether you become the most successful rapper, singer, fitness model, whatever it may be, if your struggle and your stress coming from you chasing your dream, chasing what you believe that you are, when it's all said and done, you're gonna be happy. When you don't do that and you let time go by, and then you allow other people's dreams to become your nightmare. When you allow other people's dreams to become your nightmare, when your dream's supposed to be your dream, and your dream's supposed to be a nightmare or a dream, but it's you the author of that story in your mind. You are the author of that story. But when you allow other people's dreams become your nightmare, that's where the problem lies. And then when you don't do nothing about that and you continuously deal with that, before you know it, you'll be 50, 60, 70 years old wondering what the heck did you do with your life, and you're going to be disappointment. This is where the depression kicks in. This is where the frustration kicks in. This is where people feel like they are failures and damn, I ain't do nothing with my life. It's because you wasted your time chasing other people's dreams that end up becoming your nightmare. You gotta fulfill yours, man. You gotta fulfill yours, man. That's for anybody. That's for anybody that's listening to this podcast that's gonna listen to it later. You understand? You understand? You gotta chase your dreams. Only you know what's in your mind. Nobody knows your mind. Nobody knows your thoughts. And guess what? Nobody is supposed to know your thoughts. You're supposed to know what you're doing for self and put it into work and display it for the whole world to see. Like that myth that they tell you, never tell people your business, that joint is true. Like that's why moving forward, I'd rather not just say nothing. I'd rather just show you than speak. Because speaking, and they tell you speaking things into existence, yeah, you're supposed to speak things into existence, but you're supposed to speak it in existence while it's existing in your mind. In your mind. Because you don't want nobody to give you no input that's gonna throw your stuff off, throw your brand off, throw your belief off. You don't want that. You understand? So I say all of that to say, just chase your dreams, man. The things that you guys are experiencing right now is because you're deconstructing. Your deconstruction is now opening the portals to what your ancestors want you to do. Okay? Now the creators is gonna talk to you and gonna work with you. Now you're going to see, oh damn, I was supposed to do this. Oh wow. Okay, what's up? You understand? That's what this is what your ancestors is doing. You're being awoken for a mission. Go find that mission, pimpin'. Go find that mission. Find it. Finish the job. Find it and finish the job. And for us, once we establish the El Kebulans and everybody starts awakening and everybody starts following suits and start doing the necessary things. Like I tell you all the time, We can talk this religious talk, we can talk this knowledge talk, we can talk the struggle, we can talk all of that. The only way we're gonna take one step into fixing it, and I'm talking about fixing it where it can never be broken again. The only way we're gonna even get there is until the man and the woman come back together. Until women stop opening their legs to everybody, until men stop putting their dicks in everybody, until children are with their parents, mother and father, until these things are addressed, everything that you're looking for, asking for, begging for will never occur until that is fixed. I don't care what they telling you. I don't care what's the philosophy. You can get, listen, people got degrees, all the money, everything, and we still struggling. You still a pullover away from being thrown into jail. You know what I'm saying? You still a missed payment away from being homeless, man. Come on. I ain't making this up. Until that gets addressed, I don't care what they selling you. They could sell you, listen, they could sell you the Bible class. You can go to church on Sunday saying, Jesus, I love you. If that is not addressed, nothing will ever happen. There will be no exodus. Remember, in the Bible, God is not coming for no bastards. These are all of us is coming out of bastard households, bro. Children is being raised bastards, bro. When there's a missing parent, that child becomes a bastard, bro. That's why they gave you this is why they gave you a biblical father, bro. Because they knew that all of you guys was gonna be bastards, because that's what they did. They came and they removed you, they separated you from your home, they brought damage and gave you a religious father to replace your bastardism. The bastardism was replaced with baptism. Okay? Bastard was replaced with baptism. Okay? Come on, man. Gotta understand. They know everything. This is why black music is the way that it is. This is why we're the only race that you will see on national TV. We're the only people on national TV that will go around disrespecting each other, disrespecting the man, disrespecting the woman. We're the only ones that's doing this, bro. Nobody else is doing this, bro. No other nationality is doing this. Even if you put on the Chinese, if you got unblocked Fire Stick, go put on the Chinese shows. Go put on the Chinese shows. Go put on the Chinese movies. Go put on the Jewish channel. You would never see none of these things ever. I just hurt my shoulder just leaning forward. You would never see none of these things. And the reason to not seeing it is because they know what our weakness is. And they know what needs to be done. And the objective is to make sure that that's never corrected. Even in listen, check this out, people. Even in the book that you read, that you call the Bible, when God finished creating Adam, he looked upon Adam and said that this man can't be alone. What does society promotes? Being alone. What does religion promote? Being alone. Divorce, separate, he committed adultery, he's this, he's that. Mind you, all through the scripture, that's all they've been doing was committed adultery. All kings that was in the book committed adultery. Every king that was written of in that book was committing adultery, whether it was through God, whether it was through spiritual, whether it was through sexual, all of it, because that's what that book and that story was designed to do, was designed to cause chaos and friction, to say this was evil, God disagreed with it, and now we're going to be penalized. So now we have We have taken that ideology, broken up homes. Woman is being divided from man. Woman is, listen, the first man that you open your legs to is that man that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. I repeat, the first man that you open yourself to is the man you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. I don't know where you guys are getting this from. Yes, I get it. America messed up. They messed it up and they messed up our minds. And your ancestors will forgive you. Your ancestors will forgive you because you didn't know and you came here and you was taught this behavior. They will forgive you. The creators will forgive you now that you know this and you do it no more. This is what knowing what you're doing and do it no more. Because this is not our behavior. We don't move like this. They the ones that made us like this. They the ones that made us like this. This is taught behavior. And the taught behavior is at an all-time high because now it's to the point where even men is giving up. Men has given up. Men has given up so bad that men want to be girls. Girls want to be boys because everything is out of whack. It's like, damn, you niggas don't want to step into your position. Give it to me. I'll do it. Same thing with the girls. Damn, you don't know how to treat a man. I'm gonna show you how to treat a man because I'm a man and I know what a man wants and what a man needs. This is the behavior. This is the behavior. And when you ask yourself where does this tie back to, you already know where it ties back to. What's the number one thing that allow you and giving you forgiveness for all things that you do? Where does that rely at? Where's the accountability? There's no accountability. And you know why there's no more accountability? Because the accountability was taken away through religion. The accountability, the now holding yourself accountable was taken away through religion. You don't got to do that. Listen, anything. There's no accountability, nothing. If I was to go to a European and I say, damn, bro, why did you do slavery? Why did you do us like that in slavery? Why did you even enslave us? They could easily say, because God told me to. You didn't want to believe in Jesus Christ. You didn't accept him as your Lord and Savior. So we had to put you in captivity. You understand? There's no accountability. Everything is coming with an excuse. This is why a lot of us cleave to religion, because we don't have to hold ourselves accountable. If I'm a Christian and I just let this pass. If I'm a Christian and I just quote me 15 bodies, all I got to do is go to church on Sunday and say, yo, God, forgive me. And I know that your blood that you sacrificed was for the condemnations and the nonsense of my sins. It's easy for me to, you understand? So just imagine how many people do that. Just imagine, you know how many gangsters I know? I'm talking about cold-blooded killers. You know how many gangsters I know that got pictures of a cross or their hands like this on their bodies? This is stone cold killers. You understand? But there's no accountability, and that's the problem. This is what I'm trying to. This is what comes when you start deconstructing. It's like, yo, bro, we gotta start holding ourselves accountable. We can't be blaming women for the shit that we did. We the cause for women to act like this. It's not women the fault. Women did not put the cocaine in our neighborhoods to sell and to take. We allowed this to come. Everything got to go through the man. We allowed this to happen. And when they broke through, them niggas said it's like an infestation. You know, one roach get in. You seen the movie Sinners? Hold on. Seen the movie Sinners? All it takes is for one person to come in and destroy the entire thing. That's what happened. We allowed one these people to come in, and it was a massive infestation. And them niggas have never let up since. This is why you won't see a Black Wall Street. This is why you won't see a black-owned organization no more. This is why you won't see any black empowerment, any more mom and dad shops. All these things is gone because once you let them in, it was over. And that's what we did. Now you're wondering why we are in these circumstances. This is the problem. There's no accountability. And not only there's no accountability, they not only did they tell us to take away accountability, what else religion made you do? Religion also made you say, forgive you, I'm sorry. Forgive them for they know not what they do. This is what we're supposed to keep doing. And that's not how the universe operates. There's no law that you will find outside of this Abrahamic religion where you do wrong and you're not supposed to do wrong back. There's not one religion. There's not one teaching outside of the Abrahamic teachings. And this is why we are in these circumstances. Because now when you deconstruct and you start holding yourself accountable, you start holding people accountable, right? You start holding people accountable. We're no longer going based on, this is my whiz. Give me 2 seconds. Facts. Oh shit, I'm gonna call her back. Facts. You understand? These are the things. These are the things that This is what comes with their philosophy, bro. You know what I'm saying? And when you start to deconstruct, you start to hold people accountable. This is why people don't want to chill with you. This is why the universe is gonna go against you, because now you're holding people accountable. You're no longer looking at people in fear. You know what I'm saying? You're no longer, oh, I forgive you. It's like, nah, you violated. Nah, I ain't trying to hear none of that. You understand? And that right there, that comes with a price, bro. That's not an easy walk in the park. That comes with a price, bro. You understand? You're not gonna forgive me for all the atrocities that you've done? All right, cool. I don't need you to forgive. I don't want you to forgive me. I'm just gonna terrorize your community even more. I'm gonna make your woman and your man hate each other even more. And I say this, and like I said, I promise you, as long as I live, that's my podcast. As long as my podcast is active, this is exactly what I'm going to overstress. I am going to overstress until the man and the woman becomes one, becomes clean, becomes unified. When one woman desires one man, and if a man desires multiple women, he take care of multiple women in a household, protected, honored, respected, loved, not mistreated, not being belittled, not being punked, not putting your hands on her, not making her feel less of a woman. Until we get that corrected, I don't give 2 shits on what anybody's telling you. I'm telling you. The ancestors telling you. The universe is telling you. It's a lion and a lion. It's a bear and a bear. All these things is together. All these things is together. All these races together. You know, like I told you guys before, you know the real reason why they're getting rid of the so-called migrants, mainly the Hispanic people. The reason why they're doing that is because the migrants pose a massive threat to their existence, right? Hispanic people are producing more children back to back at a faster rate than the blacks and the whites combined. Let this train back. The Hispanics birth rate is double the blacks and the whites combined. That is a problem. And they can't use the same tactics that they use against us. They can't divide the husband from the wife. They tried everything. They can't do it. These niggas, even through their history, when you look at their history, when they was fighting in these wars, when you go look into their history, when they was going to war, these people will be beheaded with their wives right next to them. You gotta kill me too. We're not on that type of time. They know this. So if you can break them, ship them. So if we can't break them the way that we want to, we're gonna break them how? We're gonna take their children. And their children, these children that you see here that got their citizenship, which was also by design, by the way. They're going to go through the system. So they know how the system works, because you do have your so-called born Hispanic Mexicans who get caught up into the system and convert into the ways of the system and don't follow nothing Mexican no more, nothing Venezuelan no more, nothing. I know, because like I said, I've worked with ACS. I'm telling you this with my own two eyes. And that's how they're gonna, and this is how they're gonna break, this is how they're gonna break society, the Hispanics. And then after it's all broken and they're able to generate money and they're able to do this, then they're gonna allow them to come back. They're gonna put a president in place that's gonna take away all the rules and laws that this nigga made, and you know, he's gonna make the corrections, and it's gonna be corrected, and then before you know it, things is gonna hopefully, you know, they're gonna sell it like it's gonna be back to normal, and then chaos is gonna happen. And like I said, everybody and everything is gonna be under another hypnosis. You're gonna have those that's coming from these so-called religious parties. They're gonna tell you that this is biblical prophecy. Look, guys, this is biblical prophecy. Then you're gonna have those that's in show business, that's in the patriotic, that's not in the stance of religion. They're gonna tell you, look, man, this is scripted, bro. This is scripted. It's this, it's that. And I'm the one that's gonna tell you that shit got nothing to do with your ancestors, bro. No disrespect. What they say got nothing to do with me. It's not gonna grant me my freedom. It's not gonna give me back my land. It's not gonna give me back money, time, you know, time served. That, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna give me none of that. And that's what you guys don't understand. You're looking for something to get. You're looking for something in return. There's nothing to get in return. Nothing to get in return. You gotta connect back. There's nothing to get in return. You gotta connect back. You gotta connect back to your El Cabulan roots. You're looking for a savior. There's no saving coming. We gotta save each other. My savior is my brother that lives across the street. A brother that I know for years. I know that if shit hits the fan, he gonna ride with me. I know police come to violate, he's gonna ride with me. That I know. That's my savior. My savior is not something that you believe, a story that has been configured 1,500 times. Before it got into the King James Bible, ask yourself how many times it was converted. Ask yourself how many times it was changed. Ask yourself how many times it went left. Ask your time. When you thoroughly break down the scriptures, you see contradiction after contradiction. You can tell, okay, somebody wrote this, somebody put this here, this was added, this don't add with that. Like, It's just so much confusion, and it's so confusing that people was like, yo, leave it, bro. Because if we try to fix it, it's gonna cause more confusion and it's gonna be more chaos. Don't you see that the big blows in 2025 is still being updated? Get yourself a Strong's, get yourself a Bible in your phone. Every month you'll see that an update is required. And the fact, and even if it's not an update required, you can go check to see if there's a new update. Why would we need another update, guys? Why would we need another update? The word of God is supposed to be the way it is forever, but it's not. And this is what I'm trying to have you guys to understand. Something is not right. This cannot be a story for black people when it was European hands that's all over it. You gotta show me the unfiltered nigga version first. If you're unable to provide me with that with that paperwork, then you can't sell me that. Right? You gotta make that make sense. If you're unable to provide me with that type of paperwork, then you can't sell me that. Because this is when it becomes a state of belief and assumptions. And when you start to deconstruct from that, the universe is gonna go against you. People is gonna pray for your downfall, bro. People is going to try to mock what's going on. They thinking that, oh, look at the numbers. He's not doing, like, excuse me? No. I'm working on bigger things at this moment. But because of my sister, and she's saying like, yo, man, your podcast, I really needed that. It made, you know what I'm saying? It made me realize, like, damn, I totally forgot that there are individuals who come on, that tune in, that's looking for some edification, that's looking for some info, that's looking for some knowledge, that's looking for some wisdom, that's looking for something that's going to, you know, make them better for that day, make them better for that moment, make them better in life. And me being a life coach, I can't forget that, and I've forgotten that. And this is my apology. You know what I'm saying? And especially for those that have deconstructed from it. So now that you have deconstructed from it, it's my obligation to ensure your deconstructing is as smooth and peaceable as possible. You understand? And this is why it's like, damn, I really gotta tap in for the people, bro. You know? And my apologies, man. I didn't know that my word was, you know, I didn't know. And sometimes you forget, you know? Sometimes you forget, because I'm a humble servant. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't take this, I don't know. I don't take it in a religious aspect. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to oversaturate y'all with European ideology, because I still haven't uncovered the El Kebulan. It's like, damn, I didn't give them that El Kebulan food yet. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to give them this chicken wing, and they only got salt salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying? You know, we like our seasons. We like our chicken seasoned. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta learn. I gotta learn how to cook. I gotta learn how to cook again. I don't know how to cook no more. I've been chefing up this seasonless chicken for so long that I forgot. I forgot the jerk sauce. I forgot, you know what I'm saying, the barbecue sauce. I forgot. And now I gotta relearn. I gotta re-chef. And that's the reason why I've been sidelined. But damn, I really gotta take you guys aboard on this journey. I gotta bring you guys on. I gotta bring you guys into my life So you guys can understand, like, yo, you see how I'm handling it? You gotta handle it too. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta, we ain't gonna fold, bro. We are the AKs, man. We are the survivors, bro. We are the children of the survivors. That's my new name, man. I'm a child of the survivors, you heard? Word. Child of the survivors, you heard? We survived this, you heard? Child of the survivors, bro. We survived this. And we still surviving, and we still striving, still fighting, still producing. Even with through all the contamination, we still produce it, and the ancestors ensure that, you know, our child wasn't affected, ensure that our people was, you know what I'm saying? So we got to take that, and like I said, you got to take that with a badge of honor and represent that, you know? Like I said before, it's time for us to start respecting our last names. And I'm not talking about the last name that the slave master gave you, bro. I'm talking about that last name that the slave master refused for you to know. You understand? Respect that last name, bro. Respect it with honor. Because they fought for your ass to be here. They bled, they hid, they migrated, they submitted. They did some level of agreements. They came to some level of agreement for you to be here right now. So you gotta honor that. You gotta respect that. You gotta stay 10 toes down. Never fold. Never fold. Never switch. Never bitch. Never snitch. Never switch. Never switch on your people. Never look to hurt and kill your people, bro. I really gotta put down the manual, the AK manual for survival. I gotta create that for y'all. Because you guys are not paying attention, bro. There's certain things you're not supposed to do, bro. Women, you're not supposed to have miscarriages. When you do that, the ancestors are gonna do something to your body. You understand? Fellas, you're not supposed to be deadbeats. Something is gonna happen. You understand? There's a lot of things we're not supposed to be doing, bro. We're not supposed to be killing. We're not supposed to never take a life, bro. I repeat, we're supposed to never take life, bro. Life is only supposed to be taken when somebody's trying to kill you. Life's not supposed to be taken. You're not supposed to be trying to shoot at nobody, kill nobody, because the person didn't like your rap song. Or the person thought you was weird. You do that, the ancestors will remove you. That's why everybody that's bragging about catching a body and rapping about it and all that, years later, and it comes quick too. These niggas that kill people, they don't last longer than 3-4 years. Unless they got locked up and then they get an extra 3 years because they hid it in the can. I'm telling you guys the truth, man. Telling you guys the truth, man. I gotta put a manual to it. Hey, listen. Thou shalt not kill is the first thing. You should not be bowing your knees down to the enemy by any means necessary, bro. You're not supposed to be in nobody's church but getting on your knees for no European. When you look into the El Capulan customs and tradition, bro, we was always chanting, singing, dancing, stomping our feet. We was never bowing our knees on some slavery type of thing, bro. That came along with their ideology, bro. I keep telling you people this, and you guys just don't listen. We getting on our knees. We putting our hands in the air. We waving it like we just don't care. All right, yo, bro. I go on here, brethren. You know what I'm saying? Gotta pay attention to that, bro. Gotta pay attention to that. But yeah, man. Gotta go run inside with this joint. Gotta pay attention to that, people. I don't know where we got into this notion of taking lives and hurting and killing. That's taught behavior. Getting on your knees, say hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? Trying to associate African spirituality with European philosophy. Those things don't mix, bro. It don't mix. And we gotta leave it alone. With that being said, guys, I'm about to go run in here. I gotta get me something to eat. I'm starving. It's your brother, man. Mahalo though.